sugar. Oh, honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Honey.
Alright guys, so today's video is going to be all about simple sugars, or the truth of sugar basically. So to start with, I have pretty much one of the main culprits, well, the most popular culprit I would have said, it's considered one of the biggest companies in the world. So this is Coca-Cola, and this is a fizzy drink, or a simple sugar, and I'm going to be discussing with you guys what they do, and why you should not be drinking them every single day, because it is really, really bad for your health. So to start with, there is simple and complex carbohydrates. If you've seen all the other nutritional videos I put on, then yeah, fair enough, you'll kind of know that. Or if you haven't, I recommend you have a look over. No reason why you can't or why you shouldn't. Apart from they are a little bit long, but it's got all the information you need in. Okay, so simple sugars, you've got to think of simple sugars as basically like 100-meter sprint. Okay, so they're going to be good for say a short amount of time, and then after that you're going to need more, or your body's going to crave more. And obviously complex carbohydrates are like a marathon, the long term. So so let's get into exactly what the case is. Okay, so when you eat, or in this case drink, a simple sugar, or a simple carbohydrate, whether it's a can of Coke, like a big bottle of Coke, can of Coke, whether it's ice cream, anything, even a glass of orange juice, it's all digested into sugar, and then it quickly rushes into your bloodstream. So that's your blood sugars. You'll typically feel a rush of energy, most likely you're going to feel it like almost instantaneously. And what happens is, with blood sugar, is you've got insulin and you've got glucagon. And what happens is, you'll ingest it, and then obviously it rises everything up. So then you're going to have a spike in your blood sugar level, and that's going to cause the pancreas to make more insulin to help lower it down. Okay, and then you've got glucagon to basically rise it up. Okay, so insulin brings it down, glucagon brings it up. Okay, so what will happen is you get a spike like this, alright? So it'll go straight down, and then it'll keep doing that, like big waves. That's what a simple sugar will do, and you don't want that. You don't want that in your body. Okay, so it'll continue. That's what will happen. It'll continue and continue. So the more of it you drink, or the more of it you ingest, this is obviously a big bottle, or maybe even a can. So say you have, well, actually I know somebody in college who has about 3 cans of Monster a day, right? That's like their breakfast. That is absolutely terrible. You have no idea how bad that actually is, because what they're doing is they're having that spike constantly. So have you ever heard of a sugar crash? So what will happen is, you will begin to feel really good after you've ingested it. You'll be like, oh yeah, I'm buzzing, I'm on one type of thing. You're going to feel really good and really energetic. And then, like that 100-meter sprint I was telling you about, it's going to feel like that for a little while, and then you're just going to go whoosh, and you'll be like, oh, sugar, I need sugar. And you're going to feel really bad. And that's your crash, So the insulin brings it all the way down, and because the insulin levels are going below the normal, when it rises back up, it's going sky high again. And you don't want that, because you're going to have imagine having a full day of that, just going up and down and up and down and up and down. Honestly, I can't imagine what it's like. And then you've got your complex carbohydrates, which I said before is like a marathon type of thing. and it's going to last for a while. In fact, it's a slow release energy, so that's why you think of it as like a marathon. So what will happen is, it'll bring it up, nice, like, just nice. It'll keep it at a steady rate, and then obviously it'll decline eventually, okay, and then it'll go back to the normal thing, and then you ingest some more, okay. So I'm not saying cut out drinks, like sugar drinks altogether, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying limit to how much you're going to have, there's also some other things. I've got some written down actually. I've got a really big list. Okay, so the next one I'm going to go on to, right? If the sugar crash and the spike and the addiction wasn't too bad, actually, come to think of it, sugar is literally, I think it's between 8 and 10 times more addictive than cocaine and heroin. And yeah, that to me is that just says it all. But however, the next thing you're going to want to worry about when you're drinking loads of this bad boy, I'm not just trying to slate Coca-Cola at all. I'm saying this is basically the only example I have in the house. There's all sorts of drinks, right, that are literally like that. And basically, the next one is tooth decay. So when you're filling your diet with sweets and baked goods, I'm trying to think of other foods now. Foods basically are high in sugar, so that's why I'm saying Coke, loads of cakes and sweets, stuff like that, Kit Kats, Freddos, for example. What happens is the bacteria in your saliva in your mouth, I think it's called a glycoprotein, and basically they're formed from carbohydrates and proteins, and they stick to your teeth and they start to form plaque, hence why you've got to brush your teeth to get rid of that so your teeth are nice, but also if you have too much of this simple sugar, what'll happen is basically it will begin to, the plaque will just build up and build up if you don't brush your teeth, which you should be doing that anyway, so I'm not going to say, you need to brush your teeth more, because that's totally wrong. But you just need to limit the amount of these you're having, and then you don't have that much of a build up of plaque all the time. But also, you want to make sure you don't have loads, like I said about the sugar crash as well. So when it comes to the enamel on your teeth, that's the stuff that keeps it white. So when you brush your teeth and like, I've got a white smile, that's what that is. That's the enamel on your teeth. And if you brush too hard, you're going to get rid of that. And then once that's gone, I'm afraid that's it. I think you might be able to go to the dentist and they'll probably just give you some stuff for it. I really don't know. Never. I'm not really big on that type of issue. However, you don't want the breakdown of enamel to happen by having too many acidy type of things, and obviously this is quite acidy and quite carbonated, and it's got a lot of sugar in as well, so obviously that gets to your teeth, and you don't want to have cavities, you don't want to have all that, because that's just not what you want. And it's going to take the enamel off your teeth as well, just as much as brushing really, really hard is going to do, and nobody wants that. So that's another thing, tooth decay. I don't know if you've ever, I think there's some videos on YouTube actually that I've got, like somebody's put like a tooth in Coke and let it soak in there for ages, and it's gone like all funny colours and stuff like that. It's probably like eroded. Yeah, I'd probably check that out. I might try and find the link for it and then put it in the description so you can see exactly what happens. But if I can't, then search for it yourself, that's fine. Alright, so coming on to the last thing that I've got written down, and the last thing I've got written down is weight gain. Yeah, so if it wasn't bad enough, you're gonna have a crash and you're gonna feel, you're gonna feel like you're gonna feel really good, and you're gonna feel crap, and then you're gonna be up and down, you're gonna be addicted to it, and you're also gonna be, you're also gonna have bad teeth. So you're gonna feel good, feel bad, feel good, bad, good, bad. You're gonna have bad teeth, and also, wait for it, also you're going to gain weight. Yes, that's right. So, yeah, it's really good not to drink loads of this drink, isn't it? That, but yet there's loads of kids doing it. some like my brother, for example, he's absolutely filled on it. I try to tell him off all the time, saying, "Oh, drink a bit more water, or you know, drink milk or something, have a cup of tea," you know. But he won't listen. But that's because it's marketed everywhere, and like I say, because it's addictive. You have it when you're a kid. That's it. You're a customer for life, basically. You know. So anyway, weight gain. Yeah. So it gets worse. I think this is probably the worst part of it, because you know you see some people on a diet of just drinking Coke or stuff like that, and I think about 5 or 6 a day, and you know it's really alarming. It's shocking. But I want you guys to know this, because this is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so when you consume too many simple carbohydrates, by now we know simple carbohydrates are, you know, like fast release sugars. You know, so like the 100-meter sprint, Coke, for example. Yeah, I'm not trying to slate them. So, this can and does lead to weight gain. That's because you're eating items filled with a simple carbohydrate, which is, you know, the 100-meter sprint. I keep saying it because I want you guys to sort of remember what it is, you know. But you want to make sure that you're not drinking loads and loads of this, because what happens is everything turns to fat, okay? There's not just fat that turns to fat, okay? If you have too much, if you have too much fat, yeah, obviously you're going to be fat, you know, you've got too much. If you've got too many calories, if you go over your calories, you're going to turn fat. If you have too many proteins, I believe you can be fat and regress as well, and that can be really bad for your liver and everything as well. If you have too many sugars, you're also gonna turn fat as well, you know, and that is because your body stores all of this. It stores it all as fat. That's what your body's done for years and years. You know, cavemen did it, Taurians did it, etc., etc. That's just how our bodies adapt to survive. So if we have too much of it, we basically say, right, okay, we'll store it as a fat cell, and we'll store it for later. And the biggest problem with that is, you know, there is never a later, and it's just stored there, and that's it. It doesn't go anywhere. Okay, it just stays there. All right, and that's what happens with this, because your body is secreting more and more insulin to help out with the glucose, and it cannot be stored, it cannot be taken anywhere straight away. So this is what I'm saying, it basically goes into your body, and then your body's like, oh, well, we can't take all this, so the pancreas will, you know, it'll secrete the insulin, and it helps to get rid of the extra glucose that you're getting all the time, and it basically says, oh, where are we going to store this? And like I was saying, it stores it as a fat cell, and because it stores it as a fat cell, that's it, you know, it's tucked away for never, you know, especially if you're not doing any exercise, you know. It's just gonna stay there, and it's gonna stick, and then over time you drink more and more, you do more of the, you know, eat more of them types of foods, and that's what's gonna happen. So yeah, exactly like I was saying before, you eat too many calories, it's gonna store it as fat because it doesn't know where to put it. You eat too much fat, yeah, obviously it's gonna turn to fat. If you eat too much, too many proteins and that can happen too. If you eat too many sugary foods, that's going to happen again. And exactly what I'm saying about the simple carbohydrates too. So really, do we want to be drinking this all the time? You know, I'm not trying to shock you, I'm not trying to give you loads and loads of things like, how can I do this, how can I do this? You know, that's something that you need to do yourself if you go into, you know, that's half the battle. You need to be able to understand what's going on, and I want to be able to give you the information and the guidance, and then that's all down to you to do the rest, you know, because I'm not you, I can't get in your head and I can't say do this, do that. Sorry, I just want to basically tell you guys exactly how it is, you know, and why it's bad and why you might be gaining weight. You might be looking at yourself now and saying, oh yeah, that's right. That seems right. That, you know, I drink a lot of that, and you know, I feel a bit ooh, you know. So that is the truth on sugar, right? And that is it's the shocking truth, but it's marketed everywhere. You would have thought it was okay, and you probably know that it's not something to be ingested every day anyway, regardless. But I just wanted to clear everything up with you, and you know, because it's little tips and tricks like this that I've learned and what I've been qualified and taught, and you know, I've learned and researched, you know, and I put all this together, and I just want everyone to know, because like I said, at the end of the day, if you do too much of it, like, it's not going to help you whatsoever. And you know, I was a victim to that when I was about 13, 14, I didn't know any better, eating loads of sweets, just loads of crap basically, and yeah, I ended up being like a pudding, you know. But that's just how it goes, you know. You don't look after yourself, don't look after your body, you don't know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about. That's what happens, you know. And yeah, there's a few people who've said it'll catch up to you, and it has eventually, you know. But any good personal trainer, anybody who's in the fitness industry, or anybody who knows about nutrition and that, you know, if they've got a clue, they'll tell you exactly how it is, or they'll tell you to the best ability, you know. So yeah, I think classes like what I'm doing right now should be on in schools. I really do. I believe that should be exactly what goes on. You know, should be in PE. You should have one lesson in nutrition, or learning what's in foods, or even doing the traffic light system. You know, that's this thing here. All right, I don't know if you can see that very well. You know, doing that. You know, like, it's just the world we live in. You know, I think instead of, really, I'm gonna have a little bit of a rant. Teachers who just look in your packed lunch and, you know, they want to take all this out and all that out. Are they qualified to do that? Do they really know what's in that food? Because I've seen one instance at school, well, my brother at school, of him basically, it wasn't very good, but they scraped all the icing off his cake. They should just get rid of they should have told him not to have the cake. But, hey, that's schools for you. And, yeah, that about wraps up this video. So, I'll see you again next week. Thanks.
When I need motivation, my one solution is my queen, 'cause she stays strong.